Alright, this is Eric Stone with Aspire Music Writer YouTube channel. This is the first video I've done in a while. My phone broke, and I honestly thought I lost everything I had. Luckily, the good Lord saved it all somehow. I broke my phone when I was watching a guy named Chance Stanley, and then it didn't work. I thought I had it fixed, and then it just kept going downhill, so I had to finally get me a new one. I got the new iPhone SE. It's a smaller phone than I had. I think I had the 11 Pro Max last time. And the funny thing is, there's like two things that are, or one thing that's really different. It's got the home button, like I think like the 6 and 7 did. I think 8, now don't quote me, but I think like the 8, they stopped making the home button. But apparently the guy that sold it to me told me that was like a big complaint about or from iPhone users. I am drinking a Natural Light and Randy Rogers band Nothing Shines Like Neon koozie. I'm going to start doing the koozies when I do these videos, promoting bands that I love and like. And it's a great album. That was like 2016 maybe. Don't quote me on that though. But it was more, they kind of went back to a little bit more traditional country. But they should be coming out with an album anyways. Anyways, that's not what video's about. I just like to yak a little bit before I get started. No, I don't have a cold. It always sounds like I got a cold. But I'm looking, like I said, Natural Light, because I'm broke. But this Take another beer, Eric. This video is about the last 5 songs I've written. I'm a lyricist, not really a songwriter, because I don't put music to any of my lyrics. But I've written like 131 songs now, I think. 130, something like that. I'm going to try and go. The last one that I remember writing was called The Creature. At first, it's going to be like it's about demons, and what I did in this song, I didn't like specify actually what the demons were about, whether it's alcohol, women, drugs, or whatever. You know, I kind of left that up to the listener. You know, and it's called The Creature, and it's like, tonight's feature is me dealing with the creature or something. I can't remember. If you go to my Facebook, Eric Stone, or my group that I've got, music group, Aspire Music Writer, same thing as my YouTube channel, you can look up the lyrics. And I showed it to one of my buddies, and he said when he read the lyrics, he said, it sounds like a Ray Wally Hubbard song, just that down and dirty blues, you know, like he gets. And honestly, I didn't see it that way. I just seen it as an old country song, you know, beer drinking. But I mean, it talks about the bottle, but it also talks about demons too. And like I said, I didn't really mention what demons the character's going through, you know. So that was I wrote in February, and I didn't write a song for about a month. The next song I wrote, it's not actually on this list. I got a cheat sheet right here, but it was a song that I've been wanting to write a song about my mother. I've still got the title, and maybe it's meant to be a co-write, I don't know. I had this song, Mama's Prayers, or the title, and the chorus was, if it weren't for Mama's prayers, I wouldn't be standing here today. If it weren't for Mama's prayers, I'd have one foot in the grave. If it weren't for Mama's prayers, none of us would be here today. Or I wouldn't be here today. If it weren't for Mama's prayers, or if it weren't for Grandma's prayers, none of us would be here today. That's the chorus for that. But I wanted to write a really personal song for my mother, because I just wanted to. I'm going to do one for my dad too. I don't know if he'll like it as much as my mom, but I still have, and it took me 5 years to write that song, or the song. It's called Mama, I'll Never Learn. And it's serious, but it's not. Because I'm kind of funny. I do comedy, or used to, before the pandemic and gas got $100 billion a gallon. But I get my humor side from my dad. But it's a song I wrote for my mother, and I'm going to give it to her on Mother's Day. I can't afford anything really right now. I don't have a job. I'm working on going back to school. But it's called Mama, I'll Never Learn. Or I'll Probably Never Learn. And it's just stuff that I went through and stuff. Very personal song. I write all kinds of songs. I mean, there's a few personal songs on here that I've got, or one for sure. Yeah, one. I've worked on a few other ones too. But the other, like I said, I'm gonna give it to my mother for Mother's Day. Mama, I'll Probably Never Learn. And then another song that I wrote was called Wild as a Mustang. Now this one, I got the kind of not really an idea, but the title, I was cleaning my house, and I was listening to William Clark Green's She Loves Horses. Excuse me. And I got to thinking, wild and free and a free spirit and stuff. So I put Wild as a Mustang. And then I took that title, and Wild as a Mustang, and thought of a girl that I went to high school with, and it just, this girl's just a free spirit, don't give a shit what anybody thinks. She's gonna do what she wants, whether people get pissed or not. Don't have a care in the world, just goes with the flow. So that one's called Wild as a Mustang. Like I said, it's heavily influenced by William Clark Green, which I'm going to see in Fort Smith, Arkansas on June 3rd. Also, if you keep up with my channel, I actually got to do an interview with William Clark Green a couple years ago. It's on here. Look for it. It just says William Clark Green interview. I think at Majestic, Fort Smith. But anyways, and another song that I completed was a song called Divided. Now this one, I've been trying for a long, I'm not political when it comes to songwriting, but I wanted to write a political song that was in the middle, not Republican, not Democrat. Sorry, my hand, but not Republican, not Democrat. And I've been trying for a while, because at first I thought, the right wing might be the left and the right wing both have to go together with one bird, and it was just a lot of things that's been going on in the last, I'd say, 10 years, maybe a little less, and like celebrities wanting to be politicians, and celebrities actually thinking people think, and then wanting to, if they don't vote the same way they do, they get mad, and singers are the same way. To me, you're a singer, shut up and sing. you're not a politician. If you were, you would be in politics, you know. But I've been thinking about the idea for a long time, actually. And I was listening to Cody Canada's Shut Up and Sing that he come out with about a year ago, which features Todd Snyder and Jamie Lynn Wilson. And I was like, got it divided, because this country is so damn divided right now. And not to be doom and gloom, but if you read the Bible, yes, I'm very religious, it's not going to get any better. But, you know, it's just talking about coming together. You know, why can't the Democrats and Republicans come together, you know, agree to disagree? Why can't the donkey and the elephant just get in the middle and shake hands? You know, stuff like that. But like I said, it's more of a talking blues song. And if you don't know what the talking blues are, it's something that, I don't know if it's actually a genre of music. I consider it a genre of music. But I think the first person that really done it was Ramblin' Jack Elliott, where he would talk, not really sing, but talk during the song. Johnny Cash did that a little bit, like with A Boy Named Sue, and Shooter Jennings had a song where he talked a little bit, you know, real fast. It's not really rapping, but it's not singing. And then Todd Snyder is real good at it. The fabulous train wreck himself. And that actually has it's a long damn song. It's got 6 verses, but like, it was just a lot of things I've been feeling over for a while. Put them all down on paper. And then the next song that I wrote, or another song, is called Jesus and Cross Canadian Ragweed. I like the idea. The first time I thought of the idea, I don't have the necklaces on, but most of the time I have, well, it's The Departed, Cody King, The Departed necklace, and then a cross necklace. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Ragweed. And I was like, the two things that like I go to the most when I'm feeling bad is either I talk to Jesus or listen to a shitload of Ragweed. You know, it just makes you feel good. I can remember one time when I was going through a little bit of hard times for college, because I just think it wasn't the right time at that time. And there's some songs I'm just like, this is a good song, but I just don't have no personal experience with this song or whatever, you know. And I was coming home one day and I really wanted to quit college, and it was like the 5th time. And I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore, because I was working. I was having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week, I can't remember. And it wasn't the right time. And I was listening to a bunch of Ragweed on my phone, which was like a mix, you know, on the phone now. I can't remember if it was, I think it was an actual CD that I burnt. Remember those? And Breakdown came on, which is on their Garage album. I was like, man, that hits home, you know. And actually, hang on, I'm going to write that down because that sounds like something song. Anyway, sorry about that. I do that all the time. But, you know, when it just, you know, it made me feel a lot better, because I've been debating whether to quit and people get mad at me or not, you know, and or whatever. So, but I heard that and I felt a lot better. But, so I wrote a song called Jesus and Cross Canadian Ragweed. And the funny thing is, I wrote it, first verse is about Jesus, then it goes into the chorus where it mentions both of them, and the second verse is about Ragweed and how I became how I got into really liking that band. And I'll tell you the story, I don't care. I'm just jabbering anyways. But what it was is a buddy of mine, we'd went over to his house and he was real big into Ragweed at that time. And I didn't know nothing about red dirt, Texas music, independent music, Oklahoma music, or anything like that, And I can't remember what album it was. It might have been the Purple album that he was listening to. No, sorry, let me take it back. It was Live at Billy Bob's. And I think the only two songs that I liked was Boys from Oklahoma, Gene Collier, and Corny Man. And but the funny thing is, I eventually started getting into it was a slow process, but started getting into Crossing and Ragweed. And then I heard 17 for the first time. Funny, if this is not ironic, I don't know what is. When I was 17. And it was just, that song is exactly what a 17-year-old goes through. What a 17-year-old goes through. You're trying to find yourself. You're running from everything. You think your parents don't know shit. And, and then 10, 5, 6, 7 years later, you're like, they weren't as stupid as you think they thought they were. But anyways, and it just worked. That 17, I was like, this is my favorite song by them. Probably one of my favorite songs of all time. And it's one song that I can listen to over and over again, not get tired. There's a few Ragweed songs, and I hate to say this, that I'm just like, I'm tired of this song. One of them is Don't Need You. I don't know why. I'm just tired of that damn song. And of course, the Boys from Oklahoma, And I'm sure I know Cody is because he said it on stage. He still does it because it pleases everybody. But the funny thing is, I'd seen Ragweed and Cody Canada in the Depart, I don't know how many times. And it was funny. The last time I seen them was the first time ever that I heard Sick and Tired live. I'd never heard that song live. And it's probably my second favorite song. But anyways, I know I go on and on about Ragweed. Anyways, and then the last song that I wrote, most recent song that I wrote, was called She's So Naughty. And it's an 80s hair metal song. It's like she's so naughty, she goes smooth down like a hottie toddy. And, just it's really cheesy, but that 80s hair metal was real cheesy. But that's just what hair metal was. My favorite hair metal band is Poison. Tell you another funny story. When I was a kid, well, not a kid, a teenager, I guess. And like I said, I grew up listening to a lot of country music. Late 80s and 90s. And I was born in 86. But that's all my mom and dad listened to in the car. And it wasn't because they enjoyed it, but they didn't dive into it like I did. And then when I was a little bit older, about 12, 13, my uncle, well, not even, I guess a kid too, my uncle would listen to 60s and 70s rock, maybe a little bit of 80s, not a lot of 80s rock, but not hair metal, but and his favorites were like Queen, Alice Cooper, the Eagles, he wasn't much into Kiss, he hated Tom Petty, but Black Sabbath, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullets, all that stuff. And so that's all I listen to. But like the hair metal, which I don't consider Guns N' Roses hair metal, but I guess they do, because their songs to me weren't as cheesy. I mean, they weren't really cheesy. They were really deep felt songs. But the first time that I seen Guns N' Roses was on the TV, and it was something I was just flipping through the channels, and he was singing "Welcome to the Jungle." We got fun and games or whatever how that song goes. I hadn't listened to that song in a long time. I was like, dude, that's awesome music. I didn't know nothing about 80s music other than maybe Alice Cooper and Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, just because it was on the radio a lot and stuff. But, and so, funny thing is, my family and I went to South Carolina on vacation when I was about 16, 17 years old. I was still into the ragweed, or getting into the ragweed, and I was like, I'm going to buy me a Guns N' Roses album, or CD, and I saved up for like $250, and I spent every damn bit of it on CDs, I shit you not. And we went into a Target, and I'm pretty sure it was a Target, and could not find a Guns N' Roses album anywhere. So, but when I was going through it, of course it's hard to find CDs now because they're going to the wayside. And, I just happened to come across Greatest Hits Poison, 1986 to 1996 or whatever it was. It was like a 15-song album. I was like, well, I'll get that. Maybe it'll be as good. And I got obsessed with it. I mean, that's all I listened to that album probably for 2 months straight. And it, of course, had Every Rose Has Its Thorn, Fallen Angel, Talk Dirty to Me, Ain't Nothing But a Good Time, all them great. But like I said, Poison, it was my first hair metal band, but and I really didn't get into a lot of hair metal until later on when I started writing songs. Because I don't just write one genre. I've written country songs, beer drinking country songs, I've written Americana songs about drugs, 80s hair metal, shock rock, Alice Cooper influenced, Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie influenced, jazz song, vocal jazz, I guess, southern rock songs. I've never really written a hard rock song. I've written like a Hinder influence song, and other stuff. So, but anyways, is that all? Yep, that's it. So, anyways, I know this is a lot longer than I thought, but check out my other videos. I'm also gonna get back into doing these videos. I'm working on a George Jones, Remembering George Jones video, because it was his birthday, or the anniversary of his death. I think April 26th. I'm going to do a Willie Nelson video because he turned 89. And then I'm going to do another video on Naomi Judd. God bless. Rest in peace, Naomi Judd. She died of suicide. Doesn't say how she took her life. I don't know. It hadn't really came out yet. But I'm going to just do a background and talk about some stuff like I normally do. But anyways, look for it. And this is Eric with Expiring Music Writer. Please subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Also, I'm going to start doing album reviews again and show reviews. So I'll check y'all later.